Very good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Goparaju Purna Sudhakar. Basically, I'm a professor of management from Hyderabad, India. Right. This specific video is about. It is very important. Basically, this specific video is very important because this is the one which I'm translating Ghantasala Bhagavad Gita into from Telugu to English. As we know, Ghantasala Venkateswara Garu's Bhagavad Gita became very famous. It is that audio is very famous, right? It was initially released in way back in 1974, right? In the form of two gramophone records in a function in Vijayawada. That specific Ghantasala's Bhagavad Gita was released in the form of two gramophone records in a function in Vijayawada. Right. Later on, so far, as in 2025, it is almost 51 years. We know how popular this specific audio became very famous, right? So, and also, Bhagavad Gita, it is basically the one, for example, basically in any organization life, people work as individuals and also as teams, but at the when the responsibility comes, people feel like, we need support, motivation, right? Some kind of desperation will be there in the people, in order to fulfill the organizational responsibilities. In those kind of scenarios, basically Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita gives us confidence, it gives us support, it gives us motivation. Basically Bhagavad Gita, it is such a kind of document, right? With that intention, I thought it would be better if I translate Ghantasala Garu's Telugu Bhagavad Gita into English, so that it will be available to majority of the people. See, if we see Bhagavad Gita, so many people across the world have worked on Bhagavad Gita. For example, during freedom time, freedom independence struggle time, even Balagangadhar Tilak also has worked on Bhagavad Gita. He has authored Bhagavad Gita translation. He has done some work. Balagangadhar Tilak. Similarly, some of the Westerners also worked on the Bhagavad Gita. Even the organizations like ISKCON, they have also done a lot of work on Bhagavad Gita kind of scriptures. Right. So Bhagavad Gita origin, it dates back to 6,000 years old document. Right. As part of this specific video, I will be translating all the slokas presented as part of Ghantasala Bhagavad Gita. Right. Basically, Ghantasala Bhagavad Gita comprises 106 slokas. 106 slokas. These were slokas were sang by Ghantasala Garu. Right. See, basically, if we take original Bhagavad Gita comprises around 700 slokas, right? So, in the form of 18 chapters, Bhagavad Gita comprises 18 chapters comprising 700 slokas. 18 chapters are 18 units, right? 18 adhyayas, right? So, put together all 18 adhyayas, there are around 700 slokas, right? If we come to from chapter 1 to chapter 6, it talks about Karma Yoga. That means how we can do tasks in society or in an organizational environment, how we can do karma, that is Karma Yogam. It talks the first chapter 1 to chapter 6. Next chapter 7 to chapter 12, it talks about Bhakti Yoga. That means how to work with devotion, how we can have bhakti to reach the God, Lord, how we can have devotion, right, to divine powers. These kind of things were taught from chapter 7 to chapter 12. And another third part of chapter 13 to chapter 18, Gnana Yoga was taught basically. That means how we can get attain knowledge, how we can get knowledge has been taught from chapter 13 to chapter 18 in Bhagavad Gita. Like that, in a macro level, basically, three parts are there in Bhagavad Gita. What we can get from Bhagavad Gita. One is Karma Yoga, that is how we can do organizational tasks or our personal tasks in society, how we can do the Karma Yoga. And second one is Bhakti Yoga, how we can have bhakti devotion to reach the God in a peaceful way. That is another one. And third one is Gnana Yoga, how we can attain knowledge and wisdom. in life. These are the three things, three essence we can get from Bhagavad Gita, right? And as we know, Bhagavad Gita basically it is a dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna at the time of Mahabharata war at Kurukshetra, right? See, basically what happens is Krishna becomes a charioteer to Arjuna and takes him to the battlefield in Kurukshetra. Then Arjuna, by seeing all his relatives, fathers, forefathers, uncles, and maternal uncles and sons in the battlefield, he says, "No, I can't kill all these people. These are all my relatives." No, he deserts all the work. He with detachment, he sits in the middle of the battlefield and he deserts the task. He says, "I don't go to the war. I don't fight with all these people. These are all my relatives." Then Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, in order to motivate Arjuna to pursue the task and to work for Dharma. This is basically a discourse Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. That is the dialogue happened at Kurukshetra war as part of Mahabharata. Right, that is basically the Bhagavad Gita. See, in that 700 slokas, around 574 slokas were told by Lord Krishna, and around 84 slokas were said by Arjuna, and 41 slokas are said by Sanjaya. Sanjaya is the one with the Divya Drishti, he says to Dhritarashtra, basically, what is happening in Kurukshetra field, he sees it through his Divya Drishti and tells to the blind Dhritarashtra by sitting before him. So, one sloka was said by Dhritarashtra. This is how the composition of slokas who in the Bhagavad Gita. 574 slokas are said by Lord Krishna, and 84 slokas are said by Arjuna, and 41 slokas are said by Sanjaya, and one sloka was said by Dhritarashtra. Right, so like that, there are around 700 slokas. Out of 700 slokas, important slokas around 106 slokas were taken, and they were sung by Ghantasala Garu. Right, so that each one by one sloka I will explain you. Right, we will go slowly. No, because the more important instead of speed, the more importance is learning the essence of Bhagavad Gita and learning the essence of all these slokas. 106 slokas are very important slokas, right? So, but it is better. It is best practice to learn the essence of it, right? So let's move on. See, Bhagavad Gita is the basic insight from the Mahabharata. Mahabharata, it is the discourse given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Lord Krishna tried to stop Kurukshetra war, but however, all his attempts were failed, basically. However, all his efforts were failed. Later, Lord Krishna became the charioteer to Arjuna and proceeds him to the battlefield. Right. So, Arjuna so with the wishes of Arjuna, Lord Krishna kept the chariot in the middle of the battlefield. Arjuna asks Lord Krishna, keep the chariot in the middle of the battlefield. So he keeps in the same way, Lord Krishna. Right. So Arjuna sees all his relatives, fathers, forefathers, gurus, uncles, brothers, maternal uncles, and friends in both sides of the battlefield. And he says his heart melts by seeing all his relatives and friends. Then Arjuna says he doesn't want to kill all his relatives. He says he doesn't want the kingdom and the wealth coming with the health and happiness comes with the victory also I don't want, like that Arjuna says. Then he throws his bow and arrows on the ground and sits sadly in the middle of the battlefield, and sits sadly in the middle of the battlefield. By seeing Arjuna, Lord Krishna says we should not worry about the people who does not deserve, basically. So wise people don't worry about temporary physical bodies or the permanent souls. Physical body is temporary and the soul is permanent, according to Bhagavad Gita. So about both these things, wise people don't worry. Like that, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Then Lord Krishna further says, for any human being, as attaining childhood, youth, adulthood, and old age are quite common. Similarly, souls also will attain another physical body. Soul means Atma, also will attain another physical body. Hence, brave people should not worry about these things. Like that, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Then, As human being leaves turned clothes and wear new clothes, soul also leaves the tired body and get a new body. As time comes, soul also leaves the old body and enters into the new body. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Then one can't destroy the soul basically. It can't be destroyed basically. Soul can't be destroyed through arms and ammunition. So fire can't kill the soul basically. Water can't make the soul wet. Wind can't destroy the soul. Soul is not having any destruction. Soul is permanent. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Right. So next, whoever born, they need to die. Whoever dies, they need to born. That is a birth and rebirth cycle. Hence, people should not worry about unavoidable things. That's what Lord Krishna says. Lord Krishna further says to Arjuna that if you get killed in war, you will reach the greater heaven. If you win the war, you will enjoy the kingdom. Hence, please get up and determine to do the war. Hence, go ahead and do the war. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Then you have right only to the this is the sloka, important sloka in Bhagavad Gita. You see, I'm not reading the slokas because they are very difficult at my level basically. That's why I want to explain, describe the essence of it in the form of English translation, the prose, right? And see, basically this sloka is very important. That is karmanya adhikarasya maphaleshu dadachina. That means we have right only to do the task, so we don't have right on the work results or outcomes. That's what Bhagavan says, right? You should not become the reason for the outcome. You should not, however, you should not stop doing things. However, we should keep doing the works. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. You don't expect the results, you leave it to God results, but you keep on doing the efforts, right? So further, one does not worry when sad things happen. One does not lose consciousness when good things happen. One won't concern for affection, fear and anger. So such kind of people are known as Stita Prajna, the one who won't worry about sad things or happy things. Similarly, the one who won't be overjoyous when happy things happen. This kind of person is known as Stita Prajna, right? According to Bhagavad Gita. So another thing is, if one is obsessed with certain things, he develops the desire over them. This is important. If one is obsessed with certain things, he develops a desire over things. That desire converts into desperate love. That desperate love becomes anger, and anger leads to senselessness. Because of this, one loses the memory. Further, he loses the senses and becomes get destroyed. That's what that means. The desires what we are having and the day-to-day activities what we do also, we should not be obsessed about them. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. We should do the work, but however, we should not be obsessed about certain things, right? Another thing is doing knowledgeable things with soul. Who tries for Brahma Prapti, doing knowledgeable things with soul, and who tries for Brahma Prapti, he won't get into the family cycle. He attains the happiest soul. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Next, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Saint who know the difference between body and soul are accomplished with the Gnana Yoga. Saints who know the difference between body and soul are accomplished with the Gnana Yoga. Sadhus who have the purity are accomplished with the Karma Yoga. Sadhus will get the Karma Yoga. Who has the purity, they will get the Karma Yoga. Similarly, species are born because of food. This is very important slogan in Bhagavad Gita. Species are born because of food. Similarly, food comes because of rain, and rain comes because of yagnas. Yagnas are possible with good deeds only. If you perform yagnas, that's what across the country when we observe different state governments will be conducting yagnas several times, right, across the country. Because of yagnas, rains will come. If rains comes, food will come. If food comes, species will grow. Because for that reason we have to perform yajnas, right? Another thing is, Lord Krishna further says to Arjuna, those who won't follow the ecosystem being run by me, he will become slave to the sense organs. That is, he will become slave to the indriyas. Right? Such person is waste. If he won't attain knowledge, he always needs to do day-to-day activities. That means we should try to attain the knowledge. Right? So next, Lord Krishna further says to Arjuna, whatever best people do in the world, those things only will be done by the other people. Whatever best people do in the world, those things only will be done by the other people. Similarly, whatever best people consider as benchmarks, those things only will be considered as benchmarks by the other people in the world. That is the reason wise people should be, role models in the society. That's what Bhagavad Gita says, right? So, and Lord Krishna further says, Arjuna, submit all your worries and tasks to me. Have knowledge, have no desires, right? Don't have ego, don't feel sad, and proceed to do the war. When we are pursuing tasks, we should not have all these things. We should not have desires, we should not no ego, we should not feel sad, and we should pursue the task. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, right? Next, and this is very important, this is about dharma. That is, Swadharma is more precious than decorated paradharma. Swadharma is more precious than decorated paradharma. Even if it is not fancy also, Swadharma is better than paradharma. Even if one dies following Swadharma also, it is better. That means Swadharma is better than paradharma. Paradharma is dangerous. It is not good to follow paradharma. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. That means we should use our self-consciousness, self-thinking, self-awareness we should use, and think in different directions when we are taking multiple decisions in an organizational or societal environment. Right? We should apply our own dharma. We should not be influenced by others. Right. Next, as smoke covers the fire, as dirt covers the mirror, as Maya covers the body, knowledge is covered by the desires. That is very much important. Our knowledge is hidden by the desires. Right, Bhagavad Gita says. Similarly, Lord Krishna says, in whichever era dharma is getting harmed, adharma is growing. In those times, to punish the bad, to protect the dharma, and to save the people, I get created on my own. I get created on my own. Into that world, I will come to protect the dharma, to save the people, and also to protect the dharma. He will gets generated, Lord Krishna. Next, another sloka, it says, good people who detached from affection, fear, or anger, who focused on me with knowledge, have attained and reached me. If we focus on these things, we can attain and also reach the Lord, right? Whoever wants to know me in different ways, I am blessed them in those different ways. However, I don't have love or affection or hate on anybody. That's what Lord Krishna says. He doesn't have love or affection or hate on anybody. Right? Those whose deeds are not filled with desire, those whose deeds are filled with fire like knowledge, such person is the Pandit, basically. Lord Krishna says. Right. According to Bhagavad Gita, this is important. The utensils of yajna are Brahmam. They are known as Brahmam. The fuel used in the ghee and other things, fuel used in yajna are also known as Brahmam. The fire in the yajna is also known as Brahmam. The saint performing the yajna is also known as Brahmam. The result outcome of the yajna is also known as Brahmam. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Right. Next, the person having focus, concentration, control over the sense organs or indriyas is eligible to get the knowledge. That means to get the knowledge, we have to have control over our indriyas, sense organs, and also we have to have focus and concentration to attain knowledge. Such person attains the higher levels of fulfillment. So far we have learned around 25 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. What was sang in Ghantasala's Bhagavad Gita, right? This completes Vishada, Sankhya, Karma, Gnana, Yogas of Bhagavad Gita, right? So let's move on and further learn. According to Bhagavad Gita, both doing tasks and deserting tasks are ways to reach the moksha. That means fulfillment or accomplishment. So, however, to compare with deserting tasks, pursuing tasks is precious. That means instead of deserting tasks or getting vairagyam, it is better to pursue the tasks, whatever is coming our way. That's what Bhagavad Gita says, right? So next, who does the works without expecting benefits? Who does the tasks like submitting to Lord Krishna? For such person, since won't come to him as water drop won't stick to the lotus leaf. That means water drop it won't stick to the lotus leaf, right? In the same way, since won't get attached to such kind of person if he is not expecting results or benefits or anything from the tasks he perform, right? And similarly, those whose knowledge destroys the ignorance, his knowledge shines like sunshine and shows the path to way of the God. Right. Next, Pandits will have equal opinion on a Brahmin having education, knowledge, and obedience. Similarly, on the individuals who eat non-vegetarian. That means Pandits will have equal opinion about everybody. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Next, a person before deserting his physical body, if he wins over the desires, anger, greed, such person is known as yogi basically. That person is known as yogi according to Bhagavad Gita. Right. So next to whoever wins over indriyas, that is sense organs, we are having sense organs right in body. You know, five sense organs are there: tongue, skin, nose, ears, eyes. Like that, sense organs are there, right? Who has who win over these sense organs are indriyas, also known as indriyas. Who keeps his focus on the center? Who can control his mind and heart? Who controls his breathing? Such person attains the fulfillment or he gets the moksham according to Bhagavad Gita. Right. Next, Lord Krishna further says, if one understands that I am the Lord to receive yajna and meditation, and who understands that I am appointed for the universe, such great people attain moksha. That means Lord Krishna, if we understand that Lord Krishna was appointed as responsible for the universe, then such people will attain the moksha. That's what Lord says. Right. Next, Krishna says, the one who is known as the one which is known as sannyasam is also known as karma yoga. If one won't sacrifice the deeds, he can't become a yogi. If one won't sacrifice the deeds, he can't become a yogi. Right. Next, whoever gets the needed food, whoever travels to where he wants to go, whoever does the tasks what he wants to do, such person for such person, Atma Samyama Yoga will be available. For that kind of person, Atma Samyama Yoga will be available. Right. Next, Deepam, Diya. Diya will be shining bright in the place where there is no air. In the same way, if a person having control over his mind and practices Atma Samyam Yoga, such person usually will be stable in the world. That means if we want to have stability in life, we have to have control over our mind and also we should practice Atma Samyama Yoga. Right, that's what Bhagavad Gita says. Next, according to Bhagavad Gita, a person having equal view on all the living things, on all species, we should have equal view. Then he sees him in all the species, and also he sees all the species in him. Right. That's how a person should have equal opinion about all the species in the world. Right. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, for anyone, keeping mind in control is difficult. However, with practice and detachment, one can control his mind. That is, with practice it comes. Right. So further, Lord Krishna says, whoever comes to me with full faith, obedience and devotion, and who prays with dedication, are great among yogis. Among yogis itself, he is great. If we go with faithfulness to God, with obedience and devotion, and praise the Lord Krishna, then he is great among yogis. Right. Further, Lord Krishna says, among thousands of people, only one person tries to attain the knowledge. Among all the people who is trying to attain knowledge, only one person reaches me. He comes to know the real form of me and my powers. That's what Lord Krishna says. Next, similarly, according to Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna's Maya is of 8 different forms. Lord Krishna's Maya is of 8 different forms. What are those forms? Earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, brain, and then ego. These are the 8 different forms of Maya of Lord Krishna. That means all these things in human beings are being created by the Lord Krishna. Mayas of Lord Krishna. Right. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, in the universe there is nothing greater than me. There is no person greater than me. As the thread is mingled in the beads, this entire universe took shelter in me. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Right, next, Lord Krishna says, please understand that I am the good fragrance in the earth. In the earth, mud, the good fragrance is the Lord Krishna. Right, the good fragrance in the mud of the earth is Lord Krishna. Similarly, I am the brightness shining in the fire. I am the pranam in the living things. He is the pranam, that means he is the life in the living things. I am the meditation among meditations. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Further, he says, people should not cross his Maya comprised of trigunas, sattva, raja, tamo gunas. They should not, people should not cross these trigunas and and the divinity of the Maya. So, however, whoever takes shelter in the Lord Krishna can attain the Maya easily. That's what Lord Krishna says. Next, those who needs help, those who needs knowledge, those who needs wealth, those who wants to fulfill their desires, they reach the Lord Krishna basically. Right. Similarly, that means if we want all these things, knowledge, help, wealth, and also fulfilling our desires, we should pray the God Lord Krishna. Right. Bhagavad Gita says. Similarly, human beings after attaining knowledge and after several rebirths, with learning and wisdom, they are taking shelter in Lord Krishna. Right. Similarly, Lord Krishna says, whoever is chanting me toward the end of their life and leaving their bodies, they are reaching me. That's what Lord Krishna says. Similarly, whoever is praying the Lord with concentration and Abhyasa Yoga is attaining Lord. And Lord Krishna is the universe. He is ancient. He is the trainer of the world. He is the atom among atoms. He is unusual shape. He has unusual shape basically. I will tell you in the coming slokas. I will explain you what is the real form of Lord Krishna also. It was explained in Bhagavad Gita. By seeing the real form of Lord Krishna, Arjuna gets scared basically. Right. So that's all. That also has been explained in Bhagavad Gita. Right. So he is the atom among atoms. He has unusual shape, Lord Krishna. He shines like sunshine. He is different from darkness or ignorance. He is different from darkness or ignorance, Lord Krishna. Right. So different forms are being explained. Next, the path of Lord Krishna is permanent. It is away from Indriyas. It is away from sense organs. It is the way which avoids the rebirth. It is the best way. That means the path of Lord Krishna avoids us rebirth. It is the best way. That means the path of Lord Krishna will get away as from the rebirth cycle. Right. So there are only two ways in universe. One is avoiding the rebirth and reaching the Lord, and second one is pushing human beings into the rebirth cycle. These are the two things according to Bhagavad Gita. Next, a yogi without expecting results outcome from reading a Vedas or performing yajnas will reach the best place of Lord. A yogi without expecting results or outcomes from reading Vedas or performing yajnas will reach the Lord Krishna. At the time of disaster, all the living things, all the species will reach the Lord, will mingle in Lord. Again, at the beginning of each era, Lord Krishna creates all these species in the world. Right? So similarly, and also Bhagavad Gita says at the end of the day also all pranis will shrink and they will reach the Lord. And as the sun rises, they all expand their bodies and then get into the day-to-day activities. That's what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Right. So similarly, whoever praise me in all situations and in all timings, such person's well-being I am only taking care of, says Lord Krishna. Whoever praise me in all situations and in all things, such person's well-being I am only taking care of. That's what Lord Krishna says. Similarly, whoever is praying Lord with flowers, fruits, leaves, and tirtham without expecting any benefits, such person is reaching the Lord Krishna. Similarly, such person is being received by Lord Krishna with love and affection. Right. Next, Arjuna, if you concentrate your mind on me at all times and praise me with dedication, devotion, and faithfulness, you can obtain me. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Right. So this completes the Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Atma Samnamana Yoga, Vijnana Yoga, Akshara Parabrahma Yoga, Rajavidya Rajagruha Yoga samaptamu completes. This completes. Right. Further we will learn remaining slokas. Another half of the slokas are there as part of Ghantasala's Bhagavad Gita, and remaining part we will learn slowly now. I will read out the meaning of translation of each of these sloka. Right. Next, Lord Krishna says on the origin of human beings. On the origin of human beings, what is that he is saying? He says, Maharshi like Kashyapa, Sanakasa Nandanadulu, Adi Purusha like Swayambhu are born because of me, Lord Krishna says. And remaining all people in the world are born because of all these people, Adi Purushas. Right. So that's what is the creation of human beings in the world. That's what Lord Krishna says. Next, Pandits keeping faith on me, keeping their lives on me, knowing my powers, they are explaining to each other about me. Pandits keeping faith on me, keeping their lives on me, knowing my powers, they are explaining about me to each other. So thus they are becoming very happy. Pandits are becoming very happy like that. That's what Lord Krishna says. Further he says, I am the heart in all species. I am the reason for the birth and growth and also destruction. Lord Krishna is the reason for birth, growth, and also destruction. Right. Next, Lord Krishna further says, I am the Samaveda among all Vedas. I am the Indra among all gods. I am the heart among Indriyas. Panchendriyas, right? Out of that, he is the heart among the Panchendriyas. I am the sense in species. He is the sense in species. That's what he says, Lord Krishna says. Further, he says, I am the Prahlada among devils. He is the Prahlada among devils. Right, see, I am the time in measurements. I am the lion among all wild animals. I am the Garutmanta among eagles. That's what Lord Krishna says. Similarly, in the universe, wealth, courageousness, bright things are my creations only. Lord Krishna says. That means wealth, courageousness, bright things are creations of Lord Krishna. Similarly, Arjuna, see my different forms, divine different shapes, different colors, my real form having several specialities. See that, I will show you. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Then Arjuna sees Lord Krishna's real form. Then Arjuna says, by seeing his Lord Krishna's real form, Deva, all gods, all species, all munis, all yogis, all snakes, like most different things are appearing in you. Your great form is with several heads, several shoulders, several chests, and I am not able to see your beginning and ending of your form. Your face is with sharp teeth, and it is equal to dangerous fire. I am not able to bear my scare. I am scared, Lord Krishna. Hence, please become kind and appear to me. That's what Krishna, please be relaxed. That's what Arjuna pleads to Lord Krishna. Then Krishna says, Arjuna, I am the one having the great powers to destroy the universe. Right. In the war, even if you don't kill the people who got ready to fight, no one is going to be alive in this war, in the Kurukshetra war. So far, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, such kind of brave people are being killed by me. So you go and kill the remaining people. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna in the Kurukshetra war. Right. Then he says, Arjuna says, Lord, please withdraw your great shape having the real shoulders. I am scared. Please come back to your normal shape and bless me. That's what Arjuna says. Then Lord Krishna says, Arjuna, usually no one gets the opportunity to see my real form, real shape. No one can see it. All the gods will be looking desperately to see my real shape or real form. That's what Lord Krishna says. Then he further says, whoever concentrates their mind on me, focuses with bhakti on me, such kind of people are very likable to me. Such people are only best people. That's what Lord Krishna says. Next, according to Bhagavad Gita, knowledge is more precious than learning. Meditation is more precious than knowledge. Similarly, sacrificing the work results is more precious than meditation. So, such sacrifice detaches us from the family lives and gives us moksha. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Right. So next further it says, whoever becomes devoted to Lord Krishna without any desires, without any bias, without fear, and rejects the work results benefits, such devotee is more closer to the Lord Krishna. Similarly, Lord Krishna says, I like people who looks equally at friends and enemies. It is very difficult in practical world, real world, but however Lord Krishna likes those kind of people, it is very difficult to practice. Who sees both happiness and sadness equally. Similarly, who sees praises and insults equally. Similarly, who sees all weather conditions, all seasons equally. And also whose mind is stable, who is happy every day. Such kind of people are lovable to me. I like those kind of people. That's what Lord Krishna says. Next he says, Arjuna, Deham, body is known as Kshetram. The person who knows the Deham is known as Kshetrajna. Next, focusing on self-realization and focusing on moksha marga are the paths finding knowledge and wisdom. Other paths leads to ignorance. Basically, they leads to agnana. Basically, that means we should try to focus on finding self-realization and focusing on moksha marga. Right. Next, prakriti environment is known as the maya. Similarly, it indicates the body's happiness and sadness. Kshetrajna is the one who is enjoying the Prakriti's happiness and sadness. That is right. Next, the person having self-realization is the one who won't get destroyed even if body ceases to exist. That means a person having self-realization is the one who won't get destroyed even if body ceases to exist, and who looks for Parameswara in all the species. Such kind of person will have self-realization. He won't get destroyed even if the body ceases to exist. That soul enters into new body. Right? If we have self-realization and tries to pray Paramatma. Right. Next, Lord is away from the Trigunas. Trigunas, we know it, right? Sattva, Raja, Tamo Gunas. I will tell you the characteristics of all these three gunas also. Sattva, Raja, Tamo Gunas. Trigunas. Right. Lord is away from all these Trigunas. Such a Lord, even if he is present in bodies, he won't get attached to those feelings. Right. Lord Krishna further says, yeah, sun is shining in all worlds in the universe. Kshetrajna is making all the bodies to shine. Kshetrajna is making all the bodies to shine. Lord Krishna is making all the bodies to shine. That's what. So this completes Vibhuti Yoga, Vishwarupa Sandarsana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, this completes so far, right? So next remaining yogas we will learn another around 25 slokas are there. I will read out each one by one slowly, right? Quickly I will finish it up, right? So next, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, yogis seeking knowledge attain moksha. Similarly, such knowledge I will give you. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. So yogis seeking knowledge attained moksha. So that kind of knowledge I will give you. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna. Similarly, Arjuna, Prakriti is the mother of all the species. I am the like father of all the species. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. Prakriti is the mother basically. Similarly, among Trigunas, Sattva Guna is making people calm and relaxed. It is making soul to be attached, attached to the physical body with happiness and knowledge, right? So similarly, Rajoguna is making people to have affection, attraction, and attachment to desires, and also day-to-day activities. It is binding the people to the soul. That is Rajoguna. And further, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Tamo Guna comes because of ignorance. It leads to attraction on the species. It is more dangerous. Tamo Guna is more dangerous. It leads to delays in life, laziness in life, carelessness in life. It leads to sleep. Similarly, Tamoguna binds human beings with all these things, whatever are the laziness, delays, carelessness, sleep, all these things are related to the Tamoguna in human beings. That's what Triguna's characteristics, Sattva, Raja, Tamogunas. Right. Next, a person having equal feelings on appreciations and insults, and also a person having equal opinion on friends and enemies, is away from Trigunas. Those kind of people will be away from Trigunas. Right. According to Bhagavad Gita, the people tree having Brahma at the roots and also ego at the branches is very ancient tree, that is people tree. Such kind of family tree, Vedas are the leaves for such kind of family tree. Right. Vedas are the kind of leaves. A person realizing these things only is the one who understands the Vedas. Right. Next, moksha, which can't be recreated, is away from the sun, moon, and fire. It became the best path for the human being. That is moksha. Attaining moksha is the best path for human beings. Similarly, Lord Krishna further says, um, digesting the food the people eating, drinking, chewing, and squeezing. These kind of things I am only digesting. That's what people are eating. That's what Lord Krishna says. Similarly, Lord Krishna further says divine qualities include braveness, courage, patience, neatness, not cheating others, not having greed. These are the divine qualities. That's what Lord Krishna says. Similarly, demon qualities according to Bhagavad Gita are demon qualities are ego, anger, harsh talks, and also ignorance. These are the demon qualities. Similarly, further Lord says, desire, anger, greed will kill the soul. Such things leads us to hell. Hence, be away from such things. Desire, anger, and greed. We should have limited things, right? So the people who is living in his way without following the scriptures, such person is not eligible to happiness or fulfillment. He can't reach the Lord shelter. That's what Lord Krishna says. Similarly, according to Bhagavad Gita, human beings can't get concentration. Basically, according to Bhagavad Gita, human beings get the concentration in their life because of the merits of the earlier births. Basically, in the earlier births, whatever merits they have done, because of that concentration they get basically in the current birth. Right. Such concentration is of three kinds. That is known as, what are those three kinds? Satvikamu, Rajasamu, Tamasamu. These are nothing but Sattva, Rajatamu gunas, right? These are the three different kinds of concentration. Satvikamu, Rajasamu, Tamasamu, right? So next one is, Bhagavad Gita says people having Sattva guna praise the gods. People having Sattva guna praise the gods and divine powers. People having Rajoguna praise the demons basically. People having Tamoguna praise the devils. Right, like that, people keep praying with dedication and devotion to whomever they like, whenever they are having Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna accordingly. Right. Similarly, meditative things in life include not bothering or worrying others, speaking lovely and friendly, and studying Vedas. These are the meditative things basically. They are almost like a meditation in life. Similarly, deserting attractive and shining tasks is known as detachment. Similarly, offering work results to Lord and benefits to Lord Shiva is known as sacrifice basically. Similarly, work results are of three types. They are dear, undear, or dear and dear. Right, three different types work results. Dear means closure. Right. People seeking work results are getting those results toward the end of the life. Similarly, people not seeking the work results are not getting even toward the end of the life. That means we should seek for work results to Lord, so that at different times we will get the results. So the path of Sattva Guna is work, responsibility, fulfillment, moksham, fear, and attachment. Right. The essence of this knowledge is embedded in Sattva Guna. So the essence of this knowledge is part of the Sattva Guna. Further, as toy maker makes toys to play, Lord Shiva becoming responsible and being in all the species, making the species to move around in the lives. Similarly, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, if you submit all your tasks to me and seek my shelter, you will get detachment to all your sins. Hence, don't worry. That's what Lord Krishna says. Further, Lord Krishna says, the person who is teaching this complex and most secret Bhagavad Gita to people, such person is eligible to attain moksham. That's what Lord Krishna says. What is the importance of teaching Bhagavad Gita? Similarly, does Arjuna say, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, have you listened the secret behind Bhagavad Gita? Is your unawareness gone? That's what Lord Krishna asks Arjuna. Then Arjuna says, Lord Krishna, my unawareness has gone. I got good knowledge because of you. Similarly, all my doubts are also got clarified. I will obey your preachings and your orders I will obey. That's what Arjuna says to Lord Krishna. Then also Bhagavad Gita says, wherever Lord Krishna and Arjuna stays, that means wherever Bhagavad Gita exists, resides, in such kind of places, wealth, victory, prosperity, and stability will be present in such kind of places. If we keep Bhagavad Gita in our houses, that gives wealth, prosperity, and also stability and victory also will be coming on our way. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Similarly, whoever reads Bhagavad Gita, they live without fear and worries, and they reach the Lord Krishna. That is the path to moksham, basically. So this completes Gunatraya Vibhaga, Purushottama Prapti Yoga. Similarly, Devasara Sampath Vibhaga Yoga. Similarly, Siddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Similarly, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. All these yogas are complete with this. So far we have discussed all the 18 yogas, 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, whatever are the selected slokas as part of Ghantasala Garu's Bhagavad Gita. I have translated so far. So this completes the translation of Ghantasala Garu's Bhagavad Gita, Telugu Bhagavad Gita songs into English translation. Right. So basically, so this is almost 50 years is over since original Ghantasala's Bhagavad Gita has been released in the form of 2 gram 4 records way back in 1974. Right. So this is my attempt to write one of my contribution towards this Bhagavad Gita. So this gives basically in any organization environment, everybody will be working as individual or as a team, and sometimes they feel like they were lonely in organization environment, and helplessness will be there. In those kind of situations, if we read Bhagavad Gita, it gives us courage, confidence, motivation, support. All these things we can get in a spiritual way from the Bhagavad Gita. right? Confidence also you can get, similarly support you can get, courage you can get, braveness will come. All these things are a part of, and you can work without fear in an organization or societal environment. That is the power of Bhagavad Gita, right? So with that, thank you everybody. Because with whatever skill knowledge level I am having, I could translate this. Slokas are some slokas only. I know only few slokas to be frequent, to be with continuous flow to read. Limited knowledge of slokas. I don't want to mm, you know give incorrect reading. I don't want to do. That is the reason I avoided Sanskrit slokas, right? So with whatever knowledge I am having, I could translate this prose into English prose. Right? Thank you, everybody. All the best. Hope this will be useful. Thank you, everybody.